5 years ago, we met through a project called the Lacrosse Network. We've learned a lot, we've grown up a lot, and we have a lot of interests that we want to show you guys.
Today on the channel, we're going to be talking about where we started as creators and where we are today. So we're going to be talking about our creative journey, and we're going to talk to you about some of the lessons that we've learned over almost 10 years now of uploading videos to YouTube. So for this video, Samsung sent us the new T7 Touch PSSD and the Pro Plus memory card. And we're going to pull some unseen footage and unseen clips from our hard drive.
We're also going to talk about what the story is with this photo of Colin in this crazy room. It's one of the craziest photos, and it was the thumbnail for this video.
Hopefully, if you're a creator or even if you've just started a creative project, you can watch this video and at certain moments say, I feel that.
And
same. And likewise.
All right, so a couple of things about the T7 Touch PSSD. So you can connect it to your laptop with a USB-C or USB-A cable. So it's really easy to plug in. You can either have 500 gigs, a terabyte, or 2 terabytes of storage. Now, that essentially just expands your laptop to be able to handle, for us, video editing. I think one of the coolest things about this is that it lights up and you can put your fingerprint on it so it feels like you're a spy or something.
It's super secure. Personally, for me, the thing I like the most is that you can drop it from up to, I think, like 6 feet.
Really?
No need to do that. But for someone like me, I break a number of electronics every year, so It's highly important. And I have a history of even breaking hard drives.
Unfortunately, I was editing episode 7 and my hard drive crashed.
So that to me was the most exciting element.
Now, this SD card is also incredibly important to our process. It also can store a ton of footage.
If you follow us on Instagram, you'll know that we actually already talked about these. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I did a cool skateboard trick and I haven't landed a cool skateboard trick on camera in years. And I feel like all of you should see that.
That was pretty shocking.
It was shocking.
Yeah.
You're like, that's the craziest, coolest thing I've ever seen Colin do ever.
That was the moment I realized you weren't lame.
Lame.
Yeah.
Same. I was like, whoa, I've still got it. I didn't know if I had it. Some mornings you wake up and you're like, do I got it?
Yeah, I think that's why you bought the beanie.
And that's why I bought the beanie, because I've seen guys who have the beanie and they have it,
right.
And I wanted it. And I didn't know if I had it until I landed that trick, and then I said, I've got it. Now, as you evolve as a creator, there is a trajectory that you will go through. Like, there are different eras and segments that we've gone through multiple times as creators and that we've noticed other creators go through as well. The first era that you go through when you decide to embark on a creative project is the jump. That's the decision to actually even embark on this journey in the first place. The jump happened for us in 2016 when we left our stable jobs with salaries, started this YouTube channel, and just tried to make this a career.
What can you expect on this channel?
Well, yeah, you can expect definitely us, and you can expect us to tell stories. That's what we like to do.
So even though there's some fear when you jump, a lot of times you're so excited to create because you just started, you have so many ideas that you kind of rise and end up having this creative high. And that's definitely what we had. Right around the time that we were just traveling around in an RV, I think that was our creative high. We got creator on the rise, we started to grow in subscribers. We immediately took out an office because we felt like, well, if you get creator on the rise, like you deserve to have your own office.
This is it.
So one of the biggest lessons about the jump and the high that happens after you jump is that you kind of have to develop and understand a relationship with success and failure.
Just because you start a show about good news and then stop doing it 3 episodes later does not mean it's a failure.
Welcome to What's Good, episode 3. This is a show about good and positive news.
Just because you do a drop of skateboards and make a show for 3 episodes around the same time, but then decide to stop that show, again, doesn't mean it's a failure.
Last time on Nowboarding, we were putting together boards and shipping them out. This time on Nowboarding,
this was one of the most creatively exciting things that has ever happened, because bringing an idea to life digitally is one thing, but bringing an idea to life and then being able to touch and feel it and ride it was like, that's insane.
The only true failure, I think, during that time, we were trying to go daily.
Yeah.
Time was of the essence. And I made this video called The Sound of Yesterday, which was just doing things that have sounds. And I showed it to Samir. I liked it. I was ready to publish it. Samir said no.
That's true. That was when I felt like the jump and the high
was coming to a
close.
That one hurt. That one hurt. So as the creative high comes to a close, you enter into the dip. The dip is when you're faced with a lot of challenges, a lot of self-doubt, and a lot of deciding whether you're actually going to move forward or you're going to quit.
when you get on the other side of that mountain, you're kind of like, okay, wait, I have to do one thing and I have to do one thing really well. Which one of those things do I pick? It's a very confusing time, and it's a question that you have to ask yourself if you're willing to push through this time or if it makes more sense to just move on.
A huge lesson that we learned during the dip was that you want to have a plan to avoid burnout before it happens.
The fastest way to burnout is creative output without direction. And because we realized that YouTube itself at this point wasn't actually going to become our source of income, we started taking on other creative projects.
I remember being very unfulfilled during this time, like with all parts of my life, like socially, from a business perspective. My housing situation in LA was all weird. That's where that photo comes from. I was going week to week in a studio in Hollywood where my air mattress was basically the size of my room. Like, it was a weird time, and there was so much output, but so much uncertainty, and it just resulted in burnout. Ultimately, the dip has to come to an end. It's either going to go one way or the other. You're either going to quit or you're going to keep going. There's really only two paths. But then, as you know, if you're watching this channel, earlier this year, we got a second chance at all of this when brands like Samsung came in and changed our trajectory completely. So for the first time, we were full-time creators, and we call this part of the journey the starting line. Because really, for the first time, you're actually ready to begin. Like, you're at the start of the race, the start of another journey. It is a new beginning.
This might feel overwhelming, especially to think about all the years that you've put in. You might think that it should be the finish line, but it's actually not.
So all of that work just generated the opportunity for more work. And that's why I think a huge lesson in the starting line is that hopefully by the time you get there, you have a good idea of what it means to enjoy that work, because it is going to be a long road. Like, it's more of a stable rise now.
So that's our creative journey. That's how it started and how it's going now. We'd love to hear from you guys how long you've been watching us. What was like the earliest video that you came in on, and how have we changed since then? So obviously, as you guys have heard this story, and if you've been watching our channel, you know that Samsung has been a big part of this journey for us, and will always forever be a part of this journey. We also want to thank them for sending us these awesome tools that we've been using to create content this year, including the T7 Touch PSSD and the Pro Plus memory card. So these two products are incredibly important to any creator, and they are absolutely top of the line. We use both of these, and if you're looking for a good gift to give to a creator,
add a camera to this, and that basically is what it looks like to be a creator. Like, that's what it takes.
That's like the creator starter kit.
Yes.
So we hope that if you're a creator, you can relate to the journey that we just talked about. And if you're not a creator, I'm sure you can relate in some other way, because this is just a natural journey of any type of career or project or anything that you're working on.
So after 10 years, why do you think this has worked? What do you think is one of the reasons why we're still here?
I think we've always had a commitment to the process of creating and a true passion for bringing ideas to life. Why do you think?
I think it's because some people have it and some people don't. And clearly,
right,
I've got it. So
I got a few things, but if you need $1 bill in your blue jeans, I'ma throw it to you, honey, like I'm Drew Brees. I'm just happy that my crib got 2 cents.